Do you want to go in here?
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record,
I forgot my coffee, but we totally just stole this space, and I thought that we would talk about the topic that we were talking about earlier in the park. So, this is Devon, and Devon has some things to say about that while I grab my coffee.
Yeah, breaking into the scene is really rough because there are some people, not many, but there are some who will help you a lot. Like, he helped me a ton. But But it took me quite a while to find people that would actually help, because a lot of the time I feel that people see you as their competition or upcoming competition and will just automatically shut you out, which is ridiculous because there's a huge plethora of things that need photography and that takes a lot of photographers, so why not make your life easier and add more to the scene anyway. It was rough to try to kind of break through for that reason, and then also, like he said, being a girl makes it a little difficult with clients because you get things like, oh, I'll pay you with other things or stuff like that.
Wait, elaborate on that.
They'll pay me through like sexual favors, basically. I've had that before.
So I feel like a girl would say to me, a male photographer, that she would pay me in sexual favors.
You haven't been in the Cleveland music scene on the photography side for a long time. It gets pretty gross and nasty here. Like, she was networking with somebody and a dude came up and was just like, just straight up all on her and her friend.
Yep.
Oh, well. So, I want to say something else that, something that I saw as you were talking. So you said that Radic helped you out a lot when you were first starting out. That's amazing that you helped her out. And then it was paying
it forward, kind of?
Yeah, kind of so Brandon came to me when we were both in the music scene. We played in a lot of bands that were similar and toured and whatever. So him and I were already acquaintances. So when he hit me up about photography, I was already warm and cool with him. So I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll help you out, blah, 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 blah. So then I helped you out, and then I moved to Chicago. And then you were like, hey, I'm starting photography. And he's like, here, let me help you out. And now one day, some young little guy is going to be like, hey, you're going to be like, well, get out now. And then you're going to be like, well, this is a camera, and this is how you use it. So, absolutely, totally, I'm so, it's like a lineage. It's like you're my pup, and she's your pup, and then she'll have a pup, and you do have a pup? Mm-hmm. Is it a husky?
Yeah, it is a husky.
Oh my god, I love a husky. Oh, okay.
I do have someone who I'm helping out with the scene, though.
See, and that's what it's all about. People are about shutting people out and saying competition or whatever, but I don't agree with that at all. I think it's way better to be giving and to give knowledge than to just hoard it for yourself.
But yeah, I would just say in a community basis and everything, it's better to have a stronger community that you can rely on and fall back on, because that support system, if something goes wrong, she asks me all the time, hey, I'm shooting this band, have you worked with them, what should I expect? I'm like, oh, they're great, or these guys watch out for this, or whatnot and stuff, or just avoid them in general and stuff. But no, for real, build a community, build a support group, and stop being afraid of everybody that's coming in, because if you're afraid of all the new competition, then that means you're just probably not that good at what you do.
Right, why should you be afraid? If you feel like you're confident in your work, you should be able to provide knowledge to people that are still struggling to get to a point where they're happy with their work. It's just about building people as one, because you're right, there are things you need to fall back on. I've had issues before where I'm like, oh, I need someone to help me out with this, and then I have a whole community of people that I can ask instead of just trying to struggle alone in it. And then usually when you struggle alone and don't have the knowledge you need for that situation, you make a lot of mistakes, and then it takes a lot longer to learn from it. So why not hopefully shorten that process?
There was this, in Chicago, there's this photographer, headshot photographer. I mentioned him before, his name was Mike. He's amazing. And one day he was just like, hey man, I have this so he's a pretty much exclusive studio shooter. He shoots in studio, he's insanely good. And he was like, oh, I have this event that I'm shooting. I was wondering if you wanted to come with me. And he just told me straight up, he's like, dude, I never shoot events. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went and we shot and got some super, super good stuff. But I don't have a point, except for it was fun, and I had a great time, and the photos turned out amazing, and you know, it's great to have people to work with in your community and stop being a selfish little prick and hoarding all this stuff to yourself. Oh my God. I'm so surprised, you guys, that we are still shooting here.
Yeah, how are we not?
Like, actually, like...
It's too early on. It might be dead. Remember?
Oh, no, it's dead. Oh, yeah. No, okay.
Lit.
I was going to be like, look, this is what... Phones.
We have phones.
Yeah, that's why we have phones. Like, what?
This is my first time like being in a vlog.
This
I'm
is
just
like...
very antisocial.
They cut out. So, like, we were walking and we saw these tables and we're like, let's move them around. So now this is the gang. Okay.
Hardships that you've had being a female working in this industry.
I would like to hear that too.
Because me and you were talking about this when we first started working together, and there's a lot of things I don't think that is brought out to the open about the struggles that you guys have to deal with that me and Krue probably never even thought about.
Besides what I was talking about earlier, just
Sex stuff.
sex stuff, yeah. I think the other biggest one would be like not being taken seriously. A lot of the times, in any profession, unfortunately, there is a stigma that sometimes females will not be taken as seriously. It's getting a lot better than it used to be, but it still has a long way to go, in my personal opinion, at least where I am. And that's been like another hard one, is a lot of the times people would hire a male photographer, not saying that any names or anything, that would be putting out worse work than I would, and they'd still hire him over me. I get it because there's like a better connection there, because it's like, you know, an all guy band, they have a guy photographer, woo, talk about whatever you guys talk about.
Oh, man. Okay, cool.
Right.
Because that's your niche. Okay.
It's a lot easier for me with like the post stuff that I do. When I do fashion shoots and, you know, sort of model stuff, it's a lot easier because a lot of the times it is females, and I do a lot of stuff with the queer community, so that is a lot easier to break through and kind of connect with people with. But the band scene has been a lot harder to sort of be taken seriously because I have to come off as this really formal, almost bitchy person. Sorry if you can't do swearing.
I said fuck like 8 times.
And sometimes even that will come off as like, oh, well, she's like stuck up. It's not. Like, no, I just want you to see me as a professional. I want you to take me seriously and hire me on as someone that you're going to work with, not someone you want to stare at. Like, that's probably been the biggest one.
I stare at you.
We stare all the time, but I'm pricing OC.
Oh my God, we've talked about pricing 100 times.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
Let's do it. Fuck it, we're doing it.
Like she always brings it up too. Like,
Pricing
bro,
101.
Like, what's your rule of thumb for like somebody that's like coming right into the scene, somebody like Devon, where you think?
So everybody, I feel like, is different. Everybody should price themselves different because everybody does different stuff. So for me, I do monthly subscriptions. So I target businesses and I provide content for their Instagram, and I do commercials for them every month. So every month you get a commercial, you get an Instagram story, and you get photos for the whole month. And I charge between $1,200 and $6,000 depending on what you need. And like $6,000 is like me like renting red gear, and like I need sound people and actors and shit like that, and that's just a lot. So like that's like what I charge. But like if it's like photography for the entire day, which would be an 8-hour day, I charge around between $800 and $1,200 depending on if I want to hire somebody on to help me, and depending on, you know, what it is exactly that they're asking for. If they ask for like 30 photos, I'm not going to charge them $1,200. If they want more than 30 photos, I'll probably charge them around $1,200. And then also, are your travels included? Like, absolutely, like always make sure that your travels are included. And if it's not included in that price, tell them, yo, I need Uber money, you know?
Yeah, the way I've been like dealing with things is I look at like what the job is, and I'm like, how much is this going to cost me personally? How much is this going to be worth my time and everything? And what's a number that makes me not want to complain about like having to deal with like being in the middle of the winter out shooting and stuff like that? And it's like my prices right now are kind of covering that. And then, but like the second that like I'm looking at this, I'm like, this editing for this video or this editing for these photos is just not worth what I got paid for this and everything. Maybe it's time to like think about different pricing.
Yeah, so a lot of that has to do with your skill level too. I'm not saying that your skill level is not like where it needs to be, but mine isn't like where I want it to be right now. So like, for example, there's a keyboard shortcut for when you're cutting. If you want to cut everything to the left of your clip from where your line is, you just press Q. And if you want to cut everything forward of that clip, you press W. And I didn't know this for the longest time. I've been using the razor tool, and it cut my editing time like in half. So like now, when I look at projects, I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. Like a 12-minute video used to take me forever, but now I can get it done in a reasonable amount of time. So like a lot of things have to do with like the little tricks and skills that you learn on the way. So like when you're charging people, you know, you have to take your ability to do things into account. You know, like back when I lived here, I charged like, I remember I had a $50 headshot deal once. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
I did that one.
I know, I saw it. It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah,
It was like,
I did it like a couple weeks ago just so we have like people to set up like little half an hour things.
But that's cool if you're trying to like market yourself and be like, all right, well, like they come in and then you get like references, like I get that, but like just to charge $50, which is what I was doing. I was like, why?
Oh, right.
So just to wrap things up, I just want to say, like, when it comes to pricing, know your ability compared to like what you should be charged. Know your value, know your worth. So like a lot of people devalue themselves as well. Just know what your worth is, know what your time's worth, and put that into consideration when you are figuring out what your prices are. And don't be afraid to reach out to people like me and like Brandon and like Devon and just people that are in your industry that also, and if you don't like want to, like, if you don't have any friends that do it, just Google and Instagram people that are in your area, check out their websites, see what they're charging, see how good you are compared to them, and then charge yourself or price yourself in like whatever you think is, I can't speak, coffee.
But like, yeah, just reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. How much would you charge? And like, look at their work compared to yours and see where you line up.
I don't want to speak for you guys, but like, I mean, I'm sure they'd be happy if like you asked questions to us too. You could always reach out to us, I'm assuming.
And don't take payment in sexual favors.
Yeah, don't do that. Never ever do that.
I don't have anything to say about that. No, yes. Don't have sexual favor payment
Plans.
exchanges. Payment plans? Sexual payment plans.
Okay.
You know, blowjob every day for the next 3 months.
I mean,
and
you
then
do
we're
do
good.
monthly subscriptions.
I do monthly sex subscriptions is what it is. All right, everybody. I don't know when the hell I'm going to put this out. I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's almost Christmas. So, do you have a YouTube?
I'm starting one.
Okay, well, her YouTube,
She's like, as of
his
today.
YouTube, and my YouTube, which you're already watching, are going to be in the descriptions. So check us all out, and we'll see you guys later.